Hey, this is Stacia, and I wanted to share the next round of the Holiday Open. This is round four, and I played the white pieces against, let's see, William Franklin. I believe he was rated about 1630, I want to say, and I was rated 1544 for this game. Now, the last two games you've seen, I played the black pieces, and both of them were Smith Mora declines. But this game I had the white pieces, and I opened with the move e4. And so at this point in the tournament, this being round four, I had basically, let's see, did I have 1 point? Yeah, I had 1 point. No, I had 2 points. So I was 2 out of 3 because my second game, even though I lost, it didn't really count for the tournament because I played someone in a different section. So that was a full point buy. And in round three, I took a win. So it's actually 2 out of 3 right now. And this is round four. Okay, my opponent played e5 and I played f4. So this is my favorite go-to against double king pong right now is the King's Gambit. And I've been playing it for, I think, 1 year now. And I actually do like it quite a bit. My opponent played bishop c5. And this is probably the line I see the most when it comes to the King's Gambit. Partially because I get this at Parma all the time against Dave Bumba, but also Greg Junaja plays this way against me. I had this line in the Kings Island Open, so I've seen this like a million times. And so as a result, I know the theory pretty well here. So I'm going to show what happens. Knight f3, I'm just stopping, crazy checks on h4. And he went d6. This is the normal move. And his idea is just to station the bishop outside the pawn chain and be kind of annoying. It makes it harder to get this in because if takes, knight takes, notice that the check becomes possible once again. So you always have to be kind of careful. Also, it's hard to castle. So, all right, c3 is the move, and white is going to ram d4 up there. So black plays knight f6. This is the normal move. I've also faced knight c6, and I've also faced bishop g4. This one goes into a Max Uwe attack line. It's pretty interesting. And this one's kind of similar, but not quite as good for black, I think, because my knight gets on the c3 square. I don't want to focus too much on that, though. Let's continue. He's attacking my pawn, so I need to do something. d4. So now if he takes my pawn, I'll take his bishop. That would be good for white. So he has to do something else. And he takes, let's see, yeah, like this, and I recapture. And now the normal move, this is all theory, is to play check. Notice this pawn is still hanging through all this. So you play here. Now we're attacking the bishop. So he has to do something, and he takes. Now, if you take with a queen, I think it's a huge mistake because this pawn is in fact hanging, and that's the tempo on the queen. So sure enough, computer likes black. So you have to take with the knight. And now the knight taking back guards the pawn, and black usually castles. And I play bishop d3. And I'd prefer my bishop on the c4 square, but if you do that, the center becomes harder to defend, like specifically the e-pawn. Like after like rook e8, attacking that again. So you play bishop d3, he played rook e8. There's actually a lot of moves that can be played in this position, and it's very complicated. I'll just tell you that. Like bishop g4 is the main move I see. Well, actually, there's only a handful of games. Knight c6 is a move. c5 is the computer move. Queen e7 is a move. Rook e8. Even h6 and b6 are moves. So despite having a pretty forcing line of theory, the game can branch off in many different directions here. So, okay. Rook e8, I castled, and he played h6. So this is now an original position that I haven't faced. And I also don't see any games in the database anymore. And I'm just using the master game database on chess.com. So before this, there were still two games. One had the move c5 and one had the move knight c6. Both reasonable moves, I think. So basically, I think black's plan now is to attack white's nice center. These pawns are strong, but they're also vulnerable. So if black can attack the center and maybe overtake it, I think they'll be doing fine. But if they allow white to consolidate and get in some kind of pawn break like e5, f5, these kinds of moves, then black will be worse due to not having any space, and generally there will be a big attack on black. So let's see what happens in this game. He played h6, and here, let's see. I have to be concerned about knight h5 attacking the f-pawn. If that happens, I think I could go f5 though. I have to be concerned about knight c6 with an attack here, so he could actually do this. Yeah, so as you can see, there are ways for black to continue. I played rook c1. So, the reason I played this is I don't like how vulnerable my d-pawn is. So I want to play bishop b1, but I don't want my rook on a1 when I do that. And then maybe I can play like queen c2 or queen d3 and create a battery, creating pressure on h7. So with e5 coming in, that could be an issue. So that was basically my plan, and he played c6. So right here, I played bishop b1. Now, I'm already seeing that the computer likes e5 right away. Now, I had a game in the past where I played e5 too quickly, and the knight jumped into d5, and that was pretty annoying. So as you can see, if I play e5 and he goes knight d5, that does attack my f-pawn, which is currently not defended. He also has the option to do this, although I think I'd play bishop e1 there. So let's have a look. If he did this, computer is saying knight c4. Yeah. So I need to learn this idea. Knight c4. I mean, no doubt if this had happened in the game, I would have been like, uh-oh, I messed up. There's knight e3, there's knight takes f4. I messed up, knight d5 is too strong. But the computer says knight e4 and knight c4 are both working here, especially knight c4. So let's take a look. So one thing that is cool about this move is we're defending this threat. He cannot play that right away. He could take on f4, attacking the bishop, but I'm assuming we take here, hitting the rook. So let's have a look at that. If he takes here, and we probably go here. Yeah, knight takes d6 is very strong. Now he can take my bishop, and I take. Now why is this so good for white? Let's see. Well, we have pressure here. So my rook is aimed right at that, and the rook is currently under attack. So, okay, so I kind of understand this now, because the rook already moved to e8, so that was the tempo spent. And now maybe he should go back. And I don't think the rook wants to be there. And this knight is quite strong here. Yeah, and computer is saying that bishop e6 is the best move, giving up the exchange. Very interesting. So I lost my F pawn, but actually the F file being open is good, and black lost their most active piece. So this is really, really interesting to me, and I'm wondering, like, rook e7, I would be considering this for black. And here it's saying knight h4. So let's see if we can understand that move. Oh yeah, of course, I want to come here. And this is getting very scary. Queen g3 is probably going to come. And with the knight there, we're going to maybe checkmate. We could also take here. Yeah, okay, so I'm seeing that this is quite an initiative now. And black is not defending his king very well. So, okay. So I think I understand this now. So you're learning with me because a move like e5 is something I definitely want to play and definitely looked at during the game. But I was worried about this move, and I had no idea that knight c4 was a thing. And sorry to take time on this, but I think it's instructive. The other move I saw here is that if knight c4, what about b5? It's a tempo on the knight. Now, if he kicks me away, then knight e3 is the thing, right? Well, we can take. This does attack his rook. Now, if he were to come in and attack my queen, let's see. Queen b3 should be sufficient. Wow, look at this. So now I'm attacking the rook. I'm attacking here. What does he do? Oh, not only that, I'm actually attacking the knight through discoveries as well. So at some point I can play check and win the knight that way. That's just a trade though, isn't it? So again, it's saying bishop e6 is the best move. That attacks the queen this time. Yeah, it's giving this line. It's saying go ahead and do this. Because now if takes, we just take here. This is quite interesting. This is quite interesting. And so after knight c4, if here, I can take here. If here, queen b3. If bishop e6. Another thing we could play is just queen c3. Just sidestep. We're still on the rook. He's on our rook too. But if takes, Now this is also interesting. The computer does not want to take here. And I think it's just because this knight is a beast and he's sort of permanent. You know, in fact, this is the type of knight that's so strong, and he's definitely on here, that black is probably dying to trade a rook for this knight. So we actually take here, and now we're in the f file again. I also like the fact that we're going to have f5. So this bishop cannot stay here. And computer wants to play bishop d5 now. Wow, there's just all sorts of play. So wow, this is very interesting. So the main idea that I'm learning here is that after knight d5, I need to consider moves that have a threat stronger than what I'm going to deal with. Because after here, he can go here, but I go here. He can go here, but I have queen b3. And he can even take this if he wants. Wow, but wait. No, he can't. I'm on f7. Sorry. He has to play here. And now I could even do this. Giving up my light square bishop. But yeah, there's still a lot of play here. So, okay. Yeah, I can't even move the knight because I'm on this too. So, sorry to spend so much time on that, guys, but I feel like that's a really instructive moment, so I'm glad we did look it over. So let's get back to the game. Instead of e5, I played bishop b1, a Stacia move. Yeah, A station move is when you have a very strong move like e5. That might be complicated, but instead you play a slow improving move like bishop e1. Okay, but now he played knight b to d7. This actually looks like what Calvin Blocker would call a constipating move, because now the bishop can't move, the queen is blocked, this pawn's now undefended, so yuck. What a horrible looking move. And probably e5 is even stronger now, and I see the computer agrees. I thought about playing e5. Again, I didn't like knight d5, and again, knight c4 is very strong. Knight c4 is strong. If he takes, I can take either way. Probably not with a knight, but this is very strong here. This way. Now my knight is going to come in here, and it's looking at f7, and this looks pretty unnerving. And now, so I'm also learning that when black plays rook e8 like this, I have extra play against the f7 square, and that means I should open up my f file. I did not understand this during the game, unfortunately, as you're going to see. So after bishop e1 and knight there, I played the move queen c2. Now, my impression was that e5 is way stronger now, because e5 would win. I'm attacking the knight, and after takes and say takes, I'm still attacking the knight. And if the knight were to move away, I would play check. And this would look pretty scary. Check. I don't know if... let's see. Actually, maybe he's surviving there. Let's have a look at this just for fun. Let's play a stupid move like that. e5. Well, computer wants to play g6. So yeah, he is going to get mated here. Actually, let's take this. I was looking at this line. Here I have queen h7 check. And now... I don't think this is right. Instead, we could play knight to e4 with this idea. And we can play here, attacking the knight. Wow. So I can't totally see the end of this, but this looks like a huge initiative for white. There's too much pressure. My rooks are coming in. My bishop's still very strong here. So, okay. Yeah, and I'm spending time on this because I have a history of missing these types of things. So after queen c2, my opponent saw the issues with h7, and he played knight f8. Because when you play knight f8, there is no mate, as they say. That is true here. So here I still love my position, though. And I played the move e5 at this point, which is a slight mistake. Now, this is important to remember because in these King's Gambit lines where you have this big center, e5 is often the right move, but f5 is often the right move, and even d5 is sometimes the right move for breaking in the center. So you have to figure out which one. Here I went with e5, but computer is telling me that f5 is stronger. This is a little bit counterintuitive. I have blocked my precious diagonal for the moment. e5 might still be coming. And I'm looking at the computer lines a little bit. I don't see e5. I don't see e5, in fact. But rook fe1 is going to be a thing. So maybe e5 after that. But one of the points of f5 is that now this bishop is blocked out. Also, my pawn's not hanging anymore because it was hanging earlier. Like knight h5 is often a problem. And then if I play h3, the knight can come in here. So there's that. King h1 is also a move. I do like king h1. It stops checks on the diagonal. Not bishop b6. That's not right. Queen b6. Check. Which could happen if this pawn ever moves. So, okay. Let's continue with the game. I don't want to... The next critical moment we'll spend some time on. I played e5. He took. And now this is probably my first big mistake of the game, I'd say. I already talked about how I should take with the f pawn. It increases pressure on the f7 square and the king side in general. And I didn't do that. And the reason was I thought after this position, I thought he could play here or something. And I was worried about, oh no, I thought knight d5. Of course, knight d5. I thought my pawn is weak forever, and that's going to be a problem. But that is my d4 old station nature thinking that way. Instead, I should be thinking about what gives me more initiative. And this, going this way, although it does open up this diagonal, I already committed my rook to c1. And the problem is that now my f file is not open. So I think it was better to go the other way. And knight d5 can still be played. My opponent found a good move, though. Queen b6 check. Actually, I took it back. It's not as good as I thought it was. Okay, so this gets pretty complicated. In this position, I played a move I did not want to play, queen c5. And it offers a queen trade, and it puts my rook on an awkward square, the c5 square. And I don't think my rook wants to be there. But I was worried about, after king h1, I thought that knight g4 was coming. And I actually saw some scary stuff where I might even get mated, or at least I thought losing the exchange was forced. So let's see why I was wrong about this. Okay. So clearly he's threatening this right now. He's also threatening this fork. So what can I do about that? Well, I actually have a wonderful move that fixes everything for me. And that's the knight c4. So again, I missed knight c4 earlier. And I missed knight c4 again. Knight c4 does many awesome things right here. We're attacking the queen with tempo. We are discovered defending f2. So that's pretty nice. So if he takes now, I can just take with a queen, or even, yeah, that's with check. I have to take this way. And if he takes, my rook's defending still. And the other thing I'm doing is guarding this as well. So look at that. That's just beautiful. So knight c4. Not only that, the knight is actually threatening to come into d6. So I think here, I'm trying to find something forcing for black. Check doesn't work. This doesn't work. He doesn't have queen g1. If this knight wasn't here, though, no, he still doesn't have it. I can take this way. So I think I'm going to go with the computer's move, queen b4. I'd almost certainly play a3. And then queen c5. I guess the computer is like taunting us to throw our pawns, and then queen e7. Well, after this, this move isn't so scary anymore, although I do have to watch out for b5 now. If b5, no, I don't. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Then this fork will be there. But yeah, the computer is saying that white is plus 4.6 here after queen c3. So I think just guarding the threat. Now our knight's going to come in. Our rook's coming here. We can kick away this knight. It's really not a big deal. Actually, the knight's trapped, isn't it? And the knight's trapped on top of it. Wow. So knight c4 is just a killer move here. And I'm really sad that I missed it. So let's go back. So after queen b6, I saw that after king h1, I saw knight g4 could be a huge problem, but I failed to see the best response, which is knight c4. So without knight c4, there are a lot of threats here, and that's why I ended up playing queen c5. I thought for sure I'd have to lose the exchange. Like, for example, let's see. If I went, what do I want to do here? If I went here, actually knight here also guards this. But then there's this move, right? Yeah, and here I am giving up the exchange, I think. I don't see any way out of this. Computer thinks it's about equal, but this would be sad. I'd be pretty bummed about this position. I mean, he can even, well, I'm gonna get this strong knight. That's one good thing. So I think my caution was on point. I saw this move, knight g4, but I missed the refutation, knight c4. So there you go. Let's continue with the game. Queen c5. Ugh. Ugh. I hate that move. I'm sorry. And, you know, the computer calls it pretty much a blunder. I was plus 2.3. 2.5, it says, after king h1. But I played this, and now the knight comes into d5, and I play g3, and the position is probably about equal. Now, it's possible that white is slightly better still, but this is not the position that I had by any means. His knight's active now. I moved my rook, came back. And I'm going to go a little bit quickly through these moves. King g2 to defend the knight. He took it. Not sure about that move. Let's see what the computer says. Yeah, it agrees that there's better moves than taking. Knight came out. Yeah, and here I've got a pretty simple plan. I can't afford to be silly with my rook. Like, for example, if I go here, it blocks my bishop. There's also knight here attacking it again. Do I care? Maybe. If I go here, I'm subject to pawn pushes. If I go here, he takes me. Yeah, I mean, this is a try, but I don't think I liked this move. Oh, wait, what about... Yeah, I didn't like this. Forking. That's not good. So I had to pull my rook all the way back, but my plan is simple. I want to get my rooks to the d file and double up. You know, if I can take the d file, maybe I have something. And he played this move, which I think is a mistake. He was, you know, prophylactically defending that pawn, but I don't think that's necessary. I actually think it's better to just go, Computer likes knight d4 check. F6 is a move. I kind of like f6. Yeah, that kind of destabilizes my knight outpost. And if I take, he can take this way. But then if I take, he has to take here. So that's kind of interesting. Let's have a look at that real quick. I thought you should do this. Yeah. All right. So Yeah, actually, white has a huge edge here after bishop g6. I'm going to play this. So, yeah, never mind. f6 is not a good move. Let's see if the computer caught up now. Yeah, it took that away. Oh, it brought it back. It really likes white here, actually. And after this move, still likes white. Okay, so I proceeded with my plan. Yeah, and I threw in this move f5. It is a top move. Happy to see that. Okay, so I'm destabilizing his knight. This looked pretty annoying. Plus, I wanted to play e6. He went here. I took, and now this. Now, it turns out my idea to play e6 wasn't as strong as I thought. There's actually a better move here. I could play a3, something slow, and just allowing my bishop to switch diagonals. Or I could play bishop c2 and do it this way. But maybe this is going to be a thing. This does allow this, though, doesn't it? I think. Computer wants to go back. That's kind of funny. This is also good. Okay, now I like e6. Now I like it. Because if here, I could go check. All right, well, he probably has to stop it. Yeah, king f8 is the move. All right, well, let's continue. Yeah, now you can see what happened. I played e6, and the problem is that he played f6. Now, the computer still really likes white here, but it gets difficult to prosecute an advantage, which I thought I had. I thought I was winning here. This pawn looks very strong, doesn't it? And now his king is eternally tied down to this guy. I think it's inevitable that we will exchange rooks. And then I think I missed the winning idea, which is going to be h4 at the right moment. Okay. I doubled. I think this is fine. King came up to e7. Makes sense. a3. Okay. Now black can play g4 check here. Yeah, I missed this. Look at that. Now white's still better here, but I can't take the pawn because there's a fork. And that would be pretty embarrassing. In fact, I'm just completely lost. You know, after I move my king, he would first take this, and I can't even take back because he takes it. So that would be horrible. Can I take his rook first? I guess I can, but I'm still down a rook. So that would just be lost. So g4, I would have to move away somewhere else, like king e4. Still gotta be careful, but that's guarded. Okay. Let's continue though. Instead of g4, check, he played knight there. And he just wanted to exchange rooks. And I did go for this. I wonder if there's a better move. I mean, I feel like I have to exchange rooks. I don't see like a way out of this. Computer says I could play h4 right now. g4 check doesn't work anymore because the knight's not on d5. If takes. There is knight c4. Okay, I took though. And then I played h4. This is my idea after trading rooks. But unfortunately, I don't think this is correct. After h4, I lose all advantage. He takes, I take. And my idea was this. King here, king here, king here. Maybe take this, and then queen. But Well, the issue is that once the knight gets to d5, I actually saw this during the game too. He's guarding some key squares, like this one. So I can get in, but I can't get totally in because his knight can guard this and the pawn guards this. So I'm walled out still. And then the problem with that is he still has a 3-2 majority on this side. So let's see how I should have played this. Instead of h4, let's play a normal looking move, like maybe I'll just move my bishop around or something. Yeah, I'll just do this. He can play a5. King e3 at once. b3. I thought I need to play this at the right moment. Wow. So maybe the right plan was to come over here and play against these pawns. Oh, it says 97. Attack this. I don't know. This might be a draw too. And I guess I just ruined what the game is, huh? So let's see. I played h4 after this. I'm going to show you this because also instructive. So he came in. Now I played this move because I didn't want to go to h5 and trap my king in there. But after this move, he's attacking my b pawn. Yeah, and this is kind of cute, isn't it? So I'm saying go ahead and take my b pawn if you want. And I'll go here. I thought this is winning for me, but let's see. Computer seems to have a defense. Knight c4. Oh, attacking this. Scary. Now, if he takes, I think he is losing. Yeah, he is losing, so he can't do that. So instead of that, computer plays knight d6 here. Wow, knight d6. Attacking the bishop. Attacking this pawn. If I take here, I just lose my bishop, I guess. So bishop d3. Notice this guards a lot of squares. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And then knight e8. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the computer's just like stationing the knight on e8 and saying, good luck getting my pawn. That's funny. And apparently this is a draw. I can kind of see why. This is scary. I can see why. So even though I have play, he has play too, and it's going to be a draw. In the game, he came back, checked me, and I went here. He went here. I played up. There actually was a he claimed a draw by repetition somewhere around here, but it was like right before move 40. And I wonder if I have these moves right, because there was a little back and forth with my king going back and forth and his knight coming in. But I moved my bishop one time to make sure it wouldn't be a draw. I still wanted to press, although in hindsight, this is scary. So I don't know. So he's bringing his king up, but is he really? Because I think if he does that, I can maybe attack the knight and then bring my king up and maybe queen. So he has to be really careful. I was doing a lot of calculation during this game. Yeah, but actually here, we agreed to a draw. And what's funny is that in this position when I played bishop d1, this is actually a blunder. And black can actually move and have a winning advantage with the move b6, which I don't understand other than I think the computer wants to play either a5 or c5 and have a passed pawn. And I think it's really hard to see that this is winning. And I don't really understand why, but apparently it is. Now, I could dive into this, you guys, but this is a pretty long video. So we're going to wrap this up. The game was agreed to be a draw. And let's see what we can learn from this. I might actually study that endgame at a later time, because I don't think I understand it. Okay, so we played about 11 moves of theory or something. And h6. I hadn't seen this move before. And I am going to turn off self-analysis now. Oops. Sorry about that. We'll go ahead and let the computer show us moves. I'll just put this in the middle, I think. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, rook c1. It does like that move. And okay, bishop b1. Yeah, so e5 is already working. And unfortunately for me, I missed that after knight d5, I have knight c4. So this is strong. He can't play this anymore. And if he tries to take this, then I go here. And if he takes this, we let him. And this position is excellent for white. So I guess it's not a pawn sacrifice because I took this pawn too. So very interesting play. But after bishop e1, queen c2, now I'm threatening e5. He defends. Yeah, and now I play e5. So f5 is stronger. Hard to see why. I'll need to study that more. I think it's just positionally better shutting out the bishop is my thought on that one. But e5, e5 is fine here had I played f takes. So yeah, this lesson of when the rook comes to e8, and especially with a knight on f8, because now he can't play rook e8, I think opening the f file is just a no-brainer. And yes, I have a weak pawn, but who cares? Who cares? I'm going to try to checkmate him. So that's the point of that. And instead, I played the other way, allowing queen b6 check. And now my second mistake of the game, not seeing that after king h1, knight g4, I have again knight c4. So my big lesson of this game is knight c4. Not seeing that this can be a very strong move with counter threats and defensively, guarding key squares, discover defending things, and threatening to positionally come into d6. So this knight could have been the star of the show, and this would have been a winning game. But instead, I did a station move. When in doubt, trade queens. Lucky for me, my position's okay, but not as good as it was. And I think I played fairly well here. I do like f5. But this, yeah, this is a mistake. Now the computer actually says there's better moves than what he did, but this was testing. I have this strong pawn, but no clear way to break through anymore. So, and although I managed to double, the rooks got traded, so that didn't amount to much. So yeah, white's slightly better here, but it's probably a draw. I do recall there is some weird idea where this can win. You know what? Maybe I should play this first and then go h4. I would have to make sure that I could collect this pawn though. But I'm seeing that if I got this move in, you know, this kind of thing, this could be really scary for him. Yeah, so I don't know. I may do a separate video on this ending. Let me know if you think that would be interesting. Um, I think it would be a really good exercise. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the game. I was pretty satisfied to get a draw against a higher rated opponent and maintain a nice score in the tournament of 2.5 out of 4. So, next will be the final round. I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.